Hey there, my name's Nadia Bokody and I'm a YouTuber, sex columnist, and very excited to say ASTROGLIDE's official ambassador. And I'm here this month to celebrate Pride Month. I am super excited and proud to be celebrating this year in particular because a couple of months ago, I publicly came out on YouTube and in my weekly column as a gay woman. And let me tell you, it's been a journey because I just turned 37 years old, so I'm a very late bloomer lesbian. Part of what took me so long to really come to the party in recognizing that I was gay was really growing up in a super heteronormative environment. When I was a teenager, going back to the early 2000s, there weren't a lot of great examples around me of LGBTQ couples. In particular, I didn't see examples of two women riding off into the sunset together. It was always a man and a woman that were going off to get married. So even though I always had romantic crushes on girls and I had been on dates with girls and I had slept with girls, it never occurred to me that I could be gay. To me, it just seemed like experimentation, like something that girls did from time to time. So it really didn't occur to me that men would not be a part of my sexuality. It had always just been sort of assumed that because I was a woman, I must be into men. And seeing as I had been quite boy crazy growing up, it made sense to me that, yeah, I must be into men. But then I started to learn about the concept of compulsory heterosexuality and the way in which we really thrust the idea on women that the goal in life is to be with a man, to find a man, to have a man to choose us and ride off into the sunset with. And that because we get a lot of pressure around that as women, sometimes that can make us be quite nervous and anxious around men, and we can confuse that nervousness with actually being attracted and sexually attracted to men. And I realized that so much of what I thought was sexual attraction to men was actually just really wanting validation from men, not actually feeling the genuine attraction that I had throughout my whole life felt with women. Even after coming to that realization, I still didn't feel like I had a right to change the way that I identified. As someone who had been talking so publicly about my sex life on the internet for so many years, and particularly my sex life with men, I felt like I couldn't change the plotline of my narrative that so many people had been following. And so I kind of hid it for a long time. And it wasn't until I actually spoke with other queer people in the community who reassured me that it is a natural part of the process for so many people who come out as queer, whether that's being bisexual, gay, lesbian, or somewhere along the spectrum, that they don't realize until later in life. Many people are very lucky to realize early on, but because our culture doesn't show us a ton of representation of queer people and queer love and queer sex, it's very easy to just go into that role that we are raised with of being straight and trying to conform to that. And so it was really through the people in the LGBTQIA community that I was really able to actually accept who I was. And so it's so important for me to share that message with you. If you're watching right now and you've ever questioned your sexuality, you've ever felt curious about maybe experimenting, please know that no matter what age you are, no matter how you've identified, no matter how many different relationships you've been in, or even if you haven't been in any relationships or had any sex at all, you are allowed to change the course of your journey. I think it's an extra special thing to really be able to publicly embrace who we are and to live in a society that embraces us, with Pride Month going on right now and really celebrating that, because things have not always been this way. In fact, many people don't realize that Pride Month started out as a riot. It started because LGBTQIA plus people were actually protesting the treatment that they had received at the hands of police. It was actually legal going back not very far in our history, just going back into the 50s, for police to actually arrest people who appeared to be men who were dressing as women, and people who appeared to present as women who weren't dressing feminine enough. As crazy as that sounds, that's not going back very far. And so we really have to remember at this time, while we are celebrating and embracing ourselves and feeling free to experiment and to change the direction of our stories, that we have queer people and the queer community to thank for being able to have this journey. And so I want to thank all of my queer brothers, sisters, and non-binary pals out there for helping forge this journey so that I could sit here today and feel very proud to say, with the support of my friends at ASTROGLIDE, that I am a proud gay woman, and I want all of you to feel proud and excited to be exactly who you are today. And I hope my story has helped you to do that. Happy Pride, everyone.